Thanks so much, Lucy. I'm just going to get my slides up on the screen. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having us at this event today. We're really excited to be part of this. My name's Samantha. I work in the Improvement Service and lead on the Authentic Voice project with our partner organisations, Safe Lives and Resilience Learning Partnership. This project's been running since 2021, and as Lucy mentioned there, our aim is to put lived experience at the heart and start of all systems and services that people and communities engage with in Scotland. I'm going to give a really brief overview of the project before I pass on to Vina, who's going to talk about what the Authentic Voice panel is, because it's a really important part of why the Authentic Voice project exists in the first place. So I really want everyone who's here today to hear about the panel. But just to give a bit of background of the project, so we've been working in the VOG sector at the Improvement Service for a while now, and we're aware of a lot of good practice around embedding lived experience of violence against women. And we also partnered with organisations that work specifically around facilitating and delivering some of that work. We know that the prevalence of violence against women and trauma is really broad and requires a whole system approach. And so what we look to do in this project is kind of bring professionals working across policy areas together to talk about what some of the challenges and barriers to doing that work might be, and also what some of the support and resources that would help to mitigate some of those challenges would be. So I won't go through this whole slide because I'm aware there's a lot of text on here, but all of the information about what we've done so far in this project can be found on the Authentic Voice website, which I'll share. But what we've really been doing is working to explore these challenges and barriers through a range of engagement events, and also developing our own good practice tools, and also thinking about future support and implementation work that we can do in Scotland, really to overcome some of the things that are commonly told to us around what might either limit or sort of create some hesitance in doing lived experience work. And really a lot of it comes from wanting to get it right and wanting to make sure, particularly working with people who are impacted by trauma and violence against women, that we're not re-traumatizing people, that we are doing this in a way that's empowering and safe and guided by principles that we know support people. So we've been doing work to try and find out not only what are those challenges, how do they kind of materialise within different services, but also is there any work already existing out there that we can point people to that would help overcome some of those challenges. And our stakeholders at events have also been really helpful in giving us ideas around some of the things that they would like to see created, or that they would like more information about, that would help to overcome those barriers. So again, this is a really short summary, but there's a lot more information around, what some of this might look like, and also that we know that by no means is any of this a one size fits all, or that this is going to necessarily solve all of the challenges that might occur, but we know that things can be adapted across different services and different parts of the work. One of the things I did want to briefly focus on is a huge thing that's come out for us in the Authentic Voice project so far is the importance of leadership, but also that leadership comes in a lot of different forms, and that the ways that we've been working with that have been quite different. So we recently held an event at COSLA just a few months ago that encouraged leaders and decision makers in different roles, whether that's in elected positions or within organisations, to come together to Scotland and think about what actions they could take in their own role, but also thinking about collective leadership and what that means, and how kind of bring together an understanding of what it means to kind of approach this work. We also have a bunch of resources already, and we're creating more as we speak at Authentic Voice to explore different insights and approaches on embedding lived experience across the system, and crucially bringing in learning from the third sector. And I know we've heard some really great examples already at this morning's event about how that how work around not just lived experience but co-production, participation and human rights approaches is already happening. And again, it's just about being able to bring that to a sort of awareness at that leadership level that we're hoping to do with Authentic Voice. Similarly, the Improvement Service provides implementation and improvement planning support to local authorities in Scotland, and we have really good connections, not just within violence against women, but across public protection, and those related partnerships. So we've been doing work to think about how we can embed support specifically around lived experience and trauma. And a lot of that is linked in with the National Trauma Training Programme through our work with RLP, and also working with those partners around resources that help people understand what power sharing means and the different kind of forms that takes. And really crucially, and I wish I had the report available from our pilot project with Dundee Council available. It will be coming out at some point this summer, but that's been a really, really important piece of work for AV, and they are currently looking at improving the inclusion of lived experience across their public protection partnerships. And we've been working with them for about a year to deliver some support on how they can do that effectively, and we'll be publishing our learning from how that went over the next couple of months. And finally, I wanted to talk about the kind of oversight that we have, again, as I said at the beginning, from those specialist organisations that are part of the AV project that deliver and work with people with lived experience. So Resilience Learning Partnership have a group that oversee the work of the AV project, and also do create a bunch of other resources and work around for this project. But the reason that this project was first created was because of the Safe Lives Authentic Voice panel, who are women with lived experience of domestic abuse.